Hello, good morning. How are y'all doing today? I figured I'd come and check out my green stalks, being that I have them all planted up. And it looked as if I had covering over it so the bugs and the white flies don't get in there. The funny thing is, some kind of a way, one white fly got up in there. I'm wondering, I don't even know how he did it. Maybe he flew under something and got under the bottom or something like that. So I'm going to turn you guys around. I have to water, lightly water a couple of things. But some things went in, let me pick this off of here. Some things went in as seed, and then some things went in where I had started the seeds back in July. And so now they are in the GreenStalk. I planted them up, and I think I showed you, I know I did a video where I showed you guys where I planted everything up. So I'm going to turn you around and let you see how everything is doing. A few things are doing immaculate. The only thing I have in here that I did not grow myself was one herb that I purchased probably a year or so ago. And I broke a piece off of that herb and stuck it in here, which is some thyme, because I want to have that inside of here. And the broccoli on the very bottom of one of the other GreenStalk. I'm going to show you all of that, let you see what things are coming up from seed and what just haven't come up yet. So give me 1 second, let me turn you around. Alright, so this is what we have in the GreenStalk. Now if you remember, I think I shared in another video that the very bottom row of, I'm only doing 2 GreenStalks. Let's remember that. I have the third one, but I've taken it apart and put it away for the fall winter season. I'll bring it back out in the spring. So what we have in the 2 GreenStalks, this particular one has 3 originals and 2 leaves. The bottom is an original, which is the longer one, deeper one, and I have broccoli planted through there. Now, the only thing in this particular GreenStalk that I did not start from seed is the broccoli that's at the bottom. Now, right above the broccoli, the next row, which is a leaf, let me take it so you can see the difference. Okay, the leaf, we have kohlrabi, if I'm not mistaken, or is that the other one? Is that the other one? The other one? If it's not kohlrabi, I will pop it up on the screen. But this should be kohlrabi. And then next up, we have kale as we go around. And then above that, this big one here is kale. More kale. And honestly, this whole GreenStalk here, everything should be broccoli, kale, and kohlrabi. Alright, then when we come on this side, we have, it should be 2 or 3 of the leaf that have Swiss chard in them. This is the rainbow Swiss chard, and then this is just the regular green Swiss chard here. And then right here, this one has 1 Swiss chard in it and 1 kale plant in it. Now, this top original, you can see is longer, deeper. This top original, nothing is in it yet. And I have not decided whether I'm going to take that completely off or whether I'm going to go ahead and fill it with some potting soil with perlite in it, because you want to add that extra perlite so the soil can be as loose as possible. That's one of the things with the GreenStalks. You want to make sure that the soil is filled up to the line. You want to make sure that the soil is loose as possible, that it's not clunking together, and you want to make sure that whatever is sitting on it is very level. Okay, that way everything can flow through easily. You cannot use container soil. You cannot use just any type of compost, or you have to use potting soil, and I add a little bit extra perlite to mine. Now, because I've already used these GreenStalks over the spring into the summer, I did add some amendments to it, but that was just fertilizer amendments. That was all fertilizer amendments and worm castings. Now, over to our next GreenStalk here. This one is going to look a little bit different to you. Everything here is leaf. So you see all of them are small levels. Now you're going to see vegetation in some, and then some you're not going to see anything, and then some you will see a few starts, and I'll get close up on it. The very bottom, I have arugula that I started from seed. And then we have some more kohlrabi that I started from seed above that. And some of the things I may have to take out and add some other seed starts in, because I can see one that's looking like it has died. Not sure what got to it. Above these two here, we'll talk about in just a moment. But above that, we have some bok choy that I started from seed. Okay, and then we have bok choy rosé, which I started from seed as well. Now, I've picked some of the bok choy rosé the other day, and when I picked it, I wasn't paying attention, and some of them I actually just broke pieces, and I'm taking it and tossing it behind me inside of a compost bin that's actually sitting behind me. But we have bok choy, and bok choy, just a different kind of bok choy there. This is some thyme, which I broke off of another plant that I already had. This is the colorful, well, it's two plants in here. We have the red Swiss chard and the green Swiss chard, and I took an old tag and stuck inside of here because I wanted to remember what I put in here. Now, around here, you see we have some areas that are looking empty. That's because I put some things from seed inside of here. Now, green lettuce is what I stuck in this one, and if you look closely, only one came up, so I'll probably toss a few extra seeds in there. Now, this whole row is green lettuce. It's a little teeny bitty one right there coming up. Nothing in this one. And I have to look to see what we planted in this one, because something is coming up in that one. And we have something coming up in the top. Look, this one's coming up really good there. So I have to check to see what I stuck in there. Now, what I placed inside of here was kale. Now, if you look, this one is doing really good. This one here, not so much. And then the one over here, not so much. Now, let me look at this ticket to make sure that it was kale. I was so wrong. It was kohlrabi. So 2 kohlrabi plants that I started from seed, they did not do well, which also means that this is not kale right here. This is kohlrabi as well. Now, where this row here I told you all was green lettuce, this row here is red lettuce, and if I'm not mistaken, had anything come up on that? No, nothing on the red lettuce had come up, but I did have a little bit of green lettuce come up. So I'm gonna have to thin these out right here, and then I'm gonna add a few more seeds in the one in the bottom and see if we actually get anything. If we don't, it is okay, because I still have some lettuce seeds growing in another area where they can get where they're under a grow light, basically. So I just wanted to see how well I would do with growing seed in the GreenStalk. Now I will say I did grow some things from seed this summer in the GreenStalk. It was my nasturtiums right here. I grew from seed, and then I have some cosmos, if I'm not mistaken, that's what that is, that came up from seed in the GreenStalk. So this is my first year working with the GreenStalk, the vertical planter. I have worked with container gardening before, but this is my first time working with the vertical planters, as well as, you know, earlier this year, and you can check out a earlier video where I tried out the Lowe's planter, and I think we might have talked about the dollar store planter, but I hadn't planted anything in it yet because I had worked with them before in the past and it did not do well at all. And I'm really not trying to make it sturdy and not fall over, because they fall over very easily. They're smaller, they're lighter, and you really want to kind of, I don't want to say tie them down, but almost stake them down some kind of a way, and I don't have time for that. But I did have the Lowe's planter, and then I had a planter from Lidl as well. I'll show you the Lidl planter real quick. Okay, in our Lidl planter we have carrots growing, and I didn't put it in every one. It was a 3-tier planter. I only used 2 of the tiers, and I didn't fill up every tier. I used the top 3, and I think only one. Yes, only one of the bottom. The other 2 are empty. I'll show you. See, nothing in them. So we have carrots in here, and I will probably maybe put some more carrots in that I may let grow inside of the greenhouse over the winter, but we shall see. So this, you can clearly see here that the Lidl planter is doing well. My Lowe's planter, it was doing okay over the spring and summer. I think I had some Swiss chard and stuff like that growing in it. It did pretty well. I just did not feel like dealing with a million planters this fall. But when the spring comes, we'll pull all of our planters back out and get everything planted up. I'm going to show you one other thing. So over here we're rolling up on, if you remember, I had my strawberries inside of my GreenStalk, and I wanted to take them out because I had started getting runners. Well, obviously I probably should have waited until now to take them out, but I didn't. And I took them out a little sooner than what I should have, so I lost some of them. But the great thing about strawberries is, as long as you have 1 or 2 that survive, you are good, because strawberries have runners, and guess what? Those runners are new plants, right? So even though I lost some, I was able to keep 2 here and 2 here. The 2 here have already started off with runners, and they're already setting root. Once the root has set, you can clip them. So if you look here, I've clipped this one from this one already. Once this one gets a good root and more flowers come up on it, I will clip this one right in here. Once this one gets a good root, I will separate it from this one. This one I haven't separated just yet. I want to make sure that it's really rooted real good, and once it is, I'm going to clip it separate from this, because I won't need this anymore, because it will have its own roots. And that will end up giving me, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, technically 7 plants from one plant. So that's awesome, isn't it, y'all? So this one plant right here, one went off this way, it's rooting, and actually I could take this little piece here in a little bit and put that down, and that'll root. This part here rooted, this rooted, this is in the process of rooting here and here. So this one plant, I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 7 plants off of that one. And I said it was 2 over here, but I forgot the other one came from this mother plant here. And so 1 plant, 7 plants off of it. These here, I I think these are the June bearing, if I'm not mistaken. I have 2 different kinds, and I have all the tags in here. I just can't remember which went to what. This one is one plant. It hasn't branched off yet. This here is one plant, but it's branching off here. Hopefully this will root down, and then it has 2. It actually has about 1 oops, okay, look what I just did. I just broke this off, but it has a little root on it. So what I'm gonna end up doing is sticking that right there, just like that, okay? And it'll start some roots on there. I was trying to get a little dry piece off and broke the whole thing off, but like I said, I'll stick that there. It has some fruit on it. I'm gonna break the fruit off so that way the roots, the energy can go to the roots and not to the fruit. And then all I did is sit it there and put a little bit of dirt over it. I don't push it down in deep, but hey, you know, things happen. You break stuff off. This is my spearmint or my mint plant that I cut down really, really low, and it's coming back. And I've done the same thing to my lemon balm as well, and I'm not going to show you that, but what I am going to show you is I started 2 new cucumber plants roughly about, let me see, this is September, so I want to say it was around about the beginning of August. And if you see here, we have a cucumber here growing on it, one there, and then we have a few others that are starting. And so I just wanted to start some more cucumbers before it got cold outside, you know, get another set of cucumbers in. And so that's what I have going on there. And let's see, my tomatillos is still here. I haven't completely gotten rid of it just yet because I still have a few tomatillos on it growing. This one here is actually ready. I'm not going to pull it just yet. And I have another one over there that's ready. I'm going to look into a few other varieties as well, only because this did really good, but everything on it was small. My tomato plant is in the stages of, this is the last 2, Aroma, and I have to look at the tag to see what this one is. It says Roma as well, and I know that's not what it is. A few of my tomato plants I mistagged this year, and so I'm going to make sure I stay on top of it next year. But I only have a few tomatoes left on it, and so I'm probably going to pull this in the next day or 2. The ones that I did pull and I tossed, of course they'll still ripen even if they're not in the ground, and you just I toss the tomatoes throughout the yard so that the squirrels can eat them once they ripen. Now I'm going to show you one other thing that's so exciting. As I walk over here to my little compost area, and I don't know why I threw them strawberries in there because they may end up coming back next year, but I had I toss everything inside of here because I'm trying to build it up so I won't have to buy so much potting soil to put inside of here. And so I just throw everything in here. And my other compost area, I'm going to be starting a new one soon, which will have my leaves and grass cuttings for the fall inside of there, and I didn't want this to be in there with it. But from everything I've thrown in here, I'm starting to get growth from seeds that have been in here, and it looks as if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I really feel like those are my spaghetti squash. So I can't remember if I showed you guys that before. If I did, forgive me. But yeah, they decided to grow the seed. And I remember putting a spaghetti squash inside of here that I think it went bad. No, it couldn't have went bad. I think it was just really small and it wasn't ripe. So I knew I couldn't eat it. So I just tossed it in here. And the funny thing is, even though it's not ripe yet, it still have seeds. And as it breaks down, you will, you'll get some more squash from it. Beside it, I have my fig tree that I took out of the small pot and put it in the bigger pot. I'm actually going to leave it in this for a while, because I'm really not sure where I want to put it in the ground at, if I even will. If it will produce and do okay in this pot, it shall stay here. It does have figs on it, so hopefully they'll get bigger, and I'll show you a couple of the figs. 2 there, 3 there, 1 there, and I think that and 1 over here. So yes, I really don't care for figs, but I do like fig Newtons and stuff like that, and so I want to use it to make cookies and things for my kids that are a little bit healthier. And then this is some marjoram that I started from seed. I had it in the pots, and it actually got to a size where I could put it in a bigger pot, so I stuck all of them in the same bigger pot on purpose. And so it's inside of here. I do not believe reading that this was a perennial, so when time comes, this pot right here will go inside of the greenhouse. All right, so let's look at some other things that we had going on this week. As you can see, yard work is never done. I took my clippers and cut all of this. I'm trying to get it cut off of my fence so this area here can look decent beside the greenhouse. Every year my son and I get out here and we cut my neighbors, I'm gonna say they're weeds, back. There is some bushes that are there from the lady who first owned the house 20 some years ago. She has passed on now, but from the lady who first owned the neighbor's house, there's some bushes there, but because they're never really cleaned up, so I'm gonna try my best to this year cut all this stuff back. And my neighbor, he's really cool, and I've been spraying weed killer on the stuff over here, so it seems as though it's actually done not too bad. Let me show you a close-up. It hasn't been doing too bad. Yes, there's a few things that's still a little greenery that's over up in there, but a lot of it have really died. Let me step back so you can see, you know, has really died off, and it's literally just weeds, to be honest, or where when you don't get up the acorns and stuff like that, and then they start to make new trees. And so I'm still working on getting this up off of my side. I've cut a whole lot of it. Let me see if I can get that to focus. I've cut a whole lot of it to separate where it started on my side and grew through the fence, and I'm pretty sure that's been like that for some years. And so I used my saw, and I got pretty good down in this, but that part is still in the ground, and I got to figure out whether I'm going to take my axe and go in on it and try to get that down, take the shovel a little bit more and dig down in the ground a little bit more to try to get the soil loosened. I'm going to cut all of that out and then take this soil here and here, which I have piled up, spread it back over, because there was a piece here that I cut out and I got that looking really nice, but spread that back over. And once I do that, let me turn you around slowly so I don't make you dizzy, but these 3 planters here, not this one that has my strawberries in it, but these 3 planters here, after I cut out the loofah and the cucumbers, once all those things finish, one of those is going to go on that end, and then the planter that I built, I didn't build these ones, but the one that I built is going to move to this side here. One of those is going to go over there, and then the other 2 are going to go here. And then I have another shorter planter that's going to make a L on this side here. And then this potting table that I need to slightly take apart and I'm gonna adjust it a little bit. But that potting table is gonna go beside in that area where you see that black trash can and that blue drum. It's gonna go there. And then I'm gonna clean that whole area going back there, because I have 3 what do you call them, rubber, hard plastic, whatever it's called. I have 3 of those drums, which I'm going to turn into water, the little water bins. Why can't I think of the name of everything right now? Anyway, where the water will come, the water will come off of the side of the garage and down into those, and I have 3 of them. And then that way I'll be able to water most of the garden throughout the spring off of those. And then these other 3 drums that are metal, I don't want to put water in those because I feel like the water on the inside may rust up. So I want to take one of them, maybe all 3 of them, and turn them into some type of smoker. Get the round grates and put it on each level, make a little door. The fire, I guess, will go on one level, and then the next level will be where it'll be used as a smoker. So that's what I'm thinking about doing with that, turning it into some type of smoker, pizza oven, something. I have 3 of them. I know 2 of them I definitely would use for that. The other one, I'm not sure just yet. But that's another project. I don't know when I'm going to get to either one of those 2 projects with the water barrels. That's what I was trying to think of. Oh my goodness. With the water barrels, and then making smokers out of the drums and pizza oven. I haven't figured that out just yet. But cleaning all of this area up will definitely be done this fall, because I have leaves that are still in there from last year that I have to get out as well. And I need to bag that up. I already have the bags for that. Bag that up. Landscaping fabric is going down, and then some stones, not even gravel. Stones are going down through there, so when the leaves fall, I can easily blow them, get them out. I don't have to worry about snakes and stuff. All right, so I'm going to take these here. They're going in my wheelbarrow. I'm going to take them out to the front of the yard, because the city usually comes and get that type of stuff twice a month in Virginia, or in Richmond anyway. I'm not going to say in Virginia. So I will turn the camera off, and I'll get to taking all of that stuff out. All right, that's all for now. Hopefully you enjoyed what we shared today. But come back again, maybe on tomorrow or later on this evening, early in the morning or something. Check me out at any time. Look at some of our other videos. But don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. All right, garden fam, happy gardening to you.